Hello friends, I'm George, the nice medic gentleman. The fragrance that I'm going to show you today I stumbled upon by accident while checking out some other scents on Fragrantica. Now it had a very high score and also some very glowing reviews. And when I checked it out, it turned out to be also dirty cheap, so I pulled the trigger. And the fragrance that I'm talking about is called White for Men from Sergio Soldano. As usual, let's quickly go through the packaging before I talk about more about the scent. And this is a very plain looking white box with golden lettering. On the front you got the Sergio Soldano logo and name, the concentration, which in this case is an EDT, the bottle size 100 mils. On the back you got some chemical ingredient information, including the chemicals used in this fragrance, and then on the bottom a bit more about the actual manufacturer of this fragrance. And then this is how the bottle looks. Super ugly, super plasticky, super cheap feeling. On the front you only got Sergio Soldano and Men, and that's pretty much it. As I said, very plasticky, very cheap feeling bottle, but that's to be expected because the price of this is so low. I think I paid less than $15, but I'll talk about more. I talk about the pricing a little bit later in the video. Alright, with the packaging out of the way, let me show you how the spray works. Is a very decent spray. Actually puts a nice amount of juice in sort of a white spray. So let me start by saying that this is a super retro fragrance, but it has to be because I think it was originally launched in 1986, and it definitely brings those sort of vibes as soon as you spray it. After the initial spray, you get immediately hit by a lavender bomb. The lavender note in this fragrance is super strong in the opening, can actually be a bit overwhelming, at least to my nose it is. There's also a bit of a spiciness and a bit of freshness to the opening because of that bergamot and orange notes, which are top notes in this fragrance. And then when this starts to dry down, a few other things start to kick in. There's an iris note in here. There's a cinnamon note that you can definitely pick up. There's some rose note in here. And then on the deeper dry down, a bit of sweetness starts to kick in. There's an amber note which gives this fragrance enough of a sweetness to soften up the sort of sharp opening. Also there's a patchouli note, and there's definitely a leather note in here. The lavender also stays with this scent from the very opening until the very end of the life of this fragrance. If I can sum it up that way, you get a very strong lavender opening, sort of brings a very retro barbershop vibe to this fragrance in the opening, and then on the dry down the whole scent starts to soften up a little bit. There's enough sweetness from the amber that gives a bit of a creamy feel to the leather note in here as well. And on the dry down, this feels more like a shaving foam or something like that, if that makes sense. Now, talking about performance, as soon as you spray this, because it's so sort of sharp and heavy in the opening, you might expect that this is a beast performing fragrance, but it actually isn't. It's a good performing fragrance. I get about 8 to 9 hours out of it, with very strong projection in the first 2 to 3 hours. In fact, if you're not careful with the sprayers with this one, you can definitely fill up a room. I would say with this fragrance, because of that very strong projection, you should not go more than 3 to 4 sprays. Now, versatility. This is a pretty versatile fragrance. It's more of a spring summer type of scent, but because it has enough performance, it can be used in fall and winter for sure too. It can also be used as a office type of scent, but you have to definitely be light on the trigger, because this thing, as I said, can fill rooms if you overspray. Now, price wise, I was able to get this for the equivalent of roughly about $15. From what I've seen online, it goes from somewhere between $15 to about $25, which I think is a great price considering the performance of this thing. Now, who is this for? If you like old school type of scents, you definitely need to check out this one. If you like lavender heavy scents, you definitely need to check this one out. If you like barbershoppy fragrances that bring a big time barbershop vibe to them, then again you definitely need to check this one out. If you're not such a fan of lavender or barbershoppy scents or old school type of scents, I would say sample this one first before buying. And so guys, in today's video I showed you the Sergio Soldano White for Men, a real powerhouse of a fragrance, a real lavender heavy fragrance, a real sort of old school type of scent. I hope that you found this video interesting or helpful. If you did, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, stay safe, and I'm gonna see you in my next video. Bye bye.